In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I helped my client Carrie, a 53-year-old woman, lose almost 30 pounds in less than 1 year. If you're a woman in midlife who has been struggling to lose body fat and keep it off, and you want to learn to do it in a methodical, structured way without crash dieting or any of the crazy things that we see online these days, I am running a special birthday promotion right now for my 42nd birthday, and you can take advantage of that promotion. All you have to do is click the link in my bio below and apply for coaching. Today is a really special episode because I love showcasing client success stories, but most importantly, walking you through a real life situation of somebody who is literally an average woman who has struggled for a long time, like many of us. We all know that story where you've done diet after diet, you feel like you're hitting a wall. When Carrie reached out to me, she was at her wit's end and was just ready for some change. She saw some other transformations on my Instagram and had reached out to some other people who knew me and knew of my program. It was really great because from the gate, she was all in, and I could tell just speaking with her, she was ready to go. I think that's a real key differentiator for people who are looking for transformation. You have to know that this is not a quick fix. I am not the quick fix coach. If you're looking for a detox tea, some crazy hack, I am not your girl. But if you want to learn nutrition properly in midlife, to weight train and have a structured program that's specific to you, that is me. So when Carrie started, she was sitting around 138 pounds. She is quite petite. She's only 5 feet tall. If you're a woman shorter than 5'4", you probably know how difficult it is to create a meaningful calorie deficit and lose body fat being such a small woman. So that was one of the first challenges that we did have to overcome. I'm going to cover the phases of body composition that I walked Carrie through. All of my clients will go through all 4 phases at some point in their journey. It really depends on their starting point and ultimately what their goals are. When she came to me, she wasn't really following anything consistently. She was working out and putting in a lot of effort. She also was on hormone replacement therapy, which we will get to in a minute, before she started, and still struggling to lose body fat and keep it off. Step 1 is we put her into a priming phase, the foundational starting point where you should go to if you are embarking on a new fitness journey. What we're trying to do is get your body into a baseline homeostasis from where to work from. A lot of women start this journey and they plummet their calories into the ground. Most diets out there, the Weight Watchers, the Optiva, one thing they do out of the gate is they drop your calories super low. And people say, oh my gosh, I dropped all this weight. My friend, my sister, my cousin, my neighbor lost 20 pounds in 8 weeks. It seems great on the surface, but ultimately, once you hit that rock bottom point, there's nowhere to go. And you also miss out on a lot of gains when you start off a little bit higher and get your metabolism ramped up first. Calories were a predicted maintenance for her at that point and put her on a 4-day training split. Most of my clients do not train 5 or 6 days a week, certainly not 7 days a week, because it's really important when you are in midlife to not overexert yourself and run yourself into the ground. Something else that was a little bit unique to her journey is she did have a minor operation during that time and had a little bit of complications early on. So we did extend her priming phase an extra 4 weeks so she could recover from that operation. At the timeline, we started with her end of March, early April, so almost a year ago today. Went from April, May into June in that priming phase. Focused on a little bit of recomposition, building her metabolism up, getting her really strong. From there, we decided she was ready to start a dieting phase. And so we started her fat loss phase in July of 2025. I'll throw some photos up so you can see what her starting condition was. Previously on HRT, testosterone, progesterone, and estrogen, and I will talk more about that. Sit tight. There's a lot of misinformation right now about what that can actually do for your body, or maybe that's the reason why someone suddenly was able to lose weight or whatever. And so it's really important to know that when she came to me, she was already on hormone replacement therapy, and what I applied for her was a structured training program, guided her with the nutrition aspect of it, guided her macros and her meal plan, and got her from point A to point B. Her diet phase was from July through October. We set a goal of 16 weeks to prep her for our client retreat, which we do 2 a year. She came out here to Las Vegas, which was absolutely amazing. We had so much fun. It was so great to finally meet her in person as well. And in that time frame, she went from 138 down to her lowest recorded weight was 110. Pretty significant amount of fat loss in a nice, controlled, meaningful amount of time. So what do you do at the end of the diet phase? This is the real important thing that a lot of people miss. They hit the diet phase, they hit their goal, and they go,
I'm done.
And they go back to doing whatever they were doing before. Or if you're like me, and I completely relate to this, I remember my first diet phase and I got shredded. I was so lean. This is back in 2009. I was so afraid of eating more food afterwards. There was no Instagram back then. The concept even of reverse dieting wasn't even popularized. And I still think it's kind of a foreign concept to most Gen Pop. So I completely relate to fearing eating more food and going backwards, erasing all your hard work. But here's the thing, this next phase, the diet after the diet, is the critical point for maintaining your results, sort of baking them in and making them permanent, and then setting you up for long-term success. But unfortunately, this is the phase that most people skip out on. They either mentally check out or they just think it's not important. There's so many women who just go YOLO, go on a vacation, and everything goes out the door. When you hit that low weight where Carrie was and looking amazing, she's got abs, she's got arms, her husband's raving about her friends are noticing, she hit that point and I said, we need to do the reverse diet. And now we're going into holiday season. So this is November 2025, completed her diet, and we said, let's reverse methodically so that we can get your calories back up. The reverse diet process is two parts. It's, yes, bringing calories up, but it's also bringing your activity level down to a place that what I call is like your sustainable sweet spot. And everybody has a different place. Some people, maybe they like to do a little bit of cardio every single day. Then maybe they like to go for a run every day. Some people, maybe not so much. So bare minimum cardio. How many times a week do we weight lift in maintenance? That can vary from person to person, not just in terms of whatever your goals are, but what is enjoyable for you, right? Because we have to zoom out and like look at this long term. What do you see yourself doing in the gym indefinitely? Is it 3 days a week? Is it 4 days a week? And so reducing that activity is totally fine, but you have to match your calories to that in order to get to a maintenance. In the reverse diet process, we're introducing calories, we're tapering back cardio, we're tapering back activity, and we're monitoring week to week to see how the body does. With Carrie, I got her so lean that the body is very anabolic in this lean state. I'll speak to females. The numbers will be different for men because body fat percentages are different. But most females, once you get into the teens body fat percentage, your body is more primed for muscle gain and less primed for fat gain. And so there's this window of opportunity to lift hard, increase your calories, and the body knows what to do with those calories. So of course, she starts looking tighter. For several weeks, her weight continued to drop. And you can see it in her photos week after week. She's just tighter and leaner and better conditioned. 53-year-old female, 5 feet tall, 110 pounds. Now I have her eating more than when she started. I just bumped her calories up, but we got her into that 1,800 to 2,000 calorie range, something around 250 grams of carbohydrates a day, plus a weekly date night refeed with her husband. Told her to go eat whatever she likes and enjoy. So that reverse diet phase, we took that through the holidays, being very mindful to allow her some flexibility. And then in January this year, we were able to start that process of gradually building. So gradually bring her calories up. And now here we are in April, still eating 2,100 calories a day, weekly refeed meal with her husband, minimal cardio, and weight training roughly 4 days a week. She's gone through priming phase, fat loss phase, reverse diet, and now she is in a build phase. What's next? She's effectively entering into a stage she's never been in before, a body that she's never been in before. It's a little bit fish out of water. So our game plan is to build with her through the summer. She's gonna have a lot of calories, be able to enjoy summertime with her family, whatever they like to do for summer. My plan is to do a little mini cut with her in the fall, something around 6 to 8 weeks, just to tighten up a little bit. She can definitely get a little bit tighter and leaner through the legs, but it is important to give your body that time maintaining that low weight so that that becomes your new norm. So that is our goal right now. And this whole process took roughly a year. I mean, her fat loss process, including the priming and fat loss, like 7 months. So she was able to experience all 4 phases, not fully a build phase just yet, but get into the build phase in a year. And my God, she is a completely different body. completely different. And she will tell you that. This video is not about hormone replacement therapy, whether or not it is right for you or right for her. There's a lot of misconceptions right now about what it actually can do for you. The reason why most of my clients who choose to go on hormone replacement therapy, probably around 30% of my clients, is because of perimenopausal or menopausal symptoms, hot flashes, night sweats, brain fog, sex drive, that type of stuff. But there is this messaging, this narrative right now floating around that simply being on hormone replacement therapy will magically fix your body composition. And I'm here to tell you that's completely false. It was not required to achieve the results. I can show case study after case study of women who are and who are not. The results are similar person to person because of the training that they implemented, their consistency, their work ethic, nutrition, etc. But somebody did ask, is she doing fat burning supplements, hormone therapy, or anything else that would contribute to amazing results? I will say from a coaching perspective and from what we provide at Sixpack Chick Fitness, nothing that we did with her other than nutrition and training got her the results. Her hormone replacement therapy existed prior. So here's what Carrie had to say when we asked her, did that contribute? And she wrote, I am on HRT, but in the before pics, I had already been taking it for 2 years. It did nothing for my physique. Coach V has literally been what I've been looking for. It isn't just about training and food. There are so many other things that came into play that she helps with. My mindset has totally shifted. I think this is the big one. I used to really talk negatively about myself, like every day, and I don't anymore. I've learned a lot about myself this past year. I also quit drinking, not that I drank a ton, but I knew it wasn't serving me and I would rather eat my calories. I haven't drank since starting with her a year ago. She also followed up with, my before pic, I was working out 4 to 5 days a week and tracking food, but I knew deep down I needed more accountability and someone to coach me to a better version of myself. I had no idea this was possible this year. I was always the one looking at before and afters on Instagram. I also did exactly what Coach Victoria told me to do. I didn't waver. I kept the promises to myself even when I didn't like it. Her post is completely true about adding calories back in. It messed with my mind a bit. I worked really hard to lose that fat, but now I'm very excited to build. She really has worked hard, and I can attest as a coach, when I look at my clients who have the best success stories, the most wow factor, it's honestly not because they're genetically gifted or there's something particularly special about them. If I was to say, is it a genetic gift to have the willpower to just follow a plan? Maybe. Some people are just resistant to following a plan. I heard this quote from Ed Milet the other day. It's not about being disciplined, it's about being desperate. I think the women who do the best in a coaching program, or the ones that I've seen, are desperate for the result. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired, have tried a lot of things, they feel misled, they feel confused, they feel frustrated. At the end of the day, when you're looking at working with a coach or getting help with honestly anything in life, you have to submit a little bit. You have to put down your ego and say, and I had to do this too. When I hired my first coach, I said, okay, let's see what you got. I think when the women sort of let go of that control, there's also this peace of mind that when you follow the plan and you do the work, the results will be there. So this is the story of my client, Carrie, 53 years old. She's had an amazing journey so far, and I cannot wait to show you guys. I promise you I will be back here with an update following her build and her next cut to show you 50 is not the end. You can still continue to change the trajectory of your health, get stronger, build muscle. You don't need anything fancy, but you do need a plan. If this resonated with you, go ahead and comment below. If you are a woman in midlife who is interested in coaching and you want to take advantage of my birthday promotion special that's happening right now, you can click the link in my bio for the application and book a call to speak with myself or someone from my team.